A very good evening and welcome to the 136th edition of the Global Weather Report, live here from Kirkintilloch, just northeast of the Glasgow area. Hope you're all well this afternoon. It feels like the afternoon, but it's actually the evening because obviously the clocks have now changed and we are certainly getting the benefit of the longer hours of daylight, especially into the evening. The first person on the live chat, with the exceptions of being myself, is our very own Paul James. Good afternoon to Paul. Hope you're well, my friend. And we've also got Lindsay tuning in from Marfogan Weather HQ, 177 miles away. I am down at the parents' house. Mum is in hospital. Certainly she's comfortable at the moment, so no great panic or anything like that, but she's had a little bit of a bumpy week, it has to be said, but it was good to see her this afternoon in the Queen Elizabeth University Hospital in Glasgow this afternoon. I'm going to nip in tomorrow morning before heading back up the road tomorrow. So how is everybody doing on this fine, sunny Sunday evening? It would be good to hear everybody's thoughts. Good afternoon to Braemar, Ballater, Deeside and Donside Weather. Good afternoon to yourself, Chris. Good afternoon to Richard Trott as well, down in sunny Yorkshire. Hope you are well, my friend. Hi all. I'm on two streams here, Gavs 2. So yes, a little bit of an overlap, unfortunately. Dad and I are going to head out for a bite of dinner. So it's going to be a little bit of a short and sweet stream, probably only for about 30, possibly 35 minutes this evening. We're going to be live. So yes, hopefully I can try and rattle through as much as I possibly can. And we will crack on in a little while. We've got 11 concurrent viewers at the moment. You know the drill. Be sure to hit that like button that lets myself and YouTube know that you are enjoying the content here on Marfogan Weather on YouTube. Certainly continuing to strive and deliver unique, unbiased, unhyped weather content here. And yes, hit that subscribe button if you can. It would be greatly appreciated. Paul James saying, hope your mum gets well soon. Thanks very much, Paul. Yes, hopefully she can continue to get on the mend and get home as soon as possible. So what glorious weather it has been in seemingly a long time now. Clear blue skies. We've got the chilly pockets during the overnight period where the clear skies and you get a lack of wind. We're seeing the diurnal fluctuations in temperature. One of those places being Braemar, and thanks to Chris at Braemar, Ballater, Donside and Deeside Weather, sending this glorious snap of the sunshine. Looks as if there's a little lock in this vicinity, I believe, if I'm right in saying. And there is the weather station in Braemar. So we're seeing these fluctuations in temperature between frost at night and then pleasant afternoons. A little bit on the chilly side, it has to be said. The winds kind of turn more east, even northeasterly, over the last 24 to 48 hours or so. And that has meant even up at Marfogan Weather HQ, we've had winds blowing straight off the North Sea through the north and south Sutor, up the Cromarty Firth. And that chilly air mass has then been affecting our part of the world. So essentially, we're downstream of that cool oceanic flow. Temperature yesterday afternoon, for example, only managing to get to around 10.6 Celsius. That comes off the back of 2 days in excess of 19 Celsius back during the middle portions of last week. So we're seeing a little bit of fluctuation in temperature, but nevertheless, it's dry, it's sunny, and we certainly cannot complain whatsoever. We've also got Richard Gray tuning in. Hi, Mark. Fab day, but I can't believe I'm saying it. But they could do with a drop of rain down in Devon. Yes, many gardens are starting to dry out quite considerably. The one good thing about it is that evaporation rates are still relatively low. So therefore, we're not drawn out too much of any moisture that's in the ground. So yeah, once you start to get the sun going, we'll start to get more energy and temperature rise. We'll then start to see the evaporation rates increase, and therefore we will start to see the ground start to kind of dry out and become a little bit more kind of that kind of burnt, crisp look that you get during the heart of summer. The question mark is, we've got a bit of a break in this weather towards the end of the upcoming work week. The question mark is going to be, how long lived will that break in the weather be? That's going to be the question. Massive thank you to Braemar, Ballard, Deeside and Donside Weather for a kind donation. That is very, very good of you, Chris. Thank you very much, my friend, for doing that. And thanks for your ongoing support to the channel. It is very, very kind of you, and it is greatly appreciated as well. Chris has given me access to his weather page as well, which is very good of him. And we're looking at some live temperatures from across the UK as well. So I'm going to click on that page, and we'll have a quick look at some of the current temperatures in just a second. But this is the current visible satellite imagery showing the clear skies over the UK, or the majority of Ireland as well, with the exceptions of the southwest corner, but pretty much crystal clear skies across the board. That extends down across France, almost completely clear skies around France. Got a little bit of cloud cover over Spain and Portugal. Pretty much clear skies across Germany, the Low Countries of Belgium and the Netherlands, even up into Denmark as well. We're seeing some snow on the ground. I believe that's over the higher terrain of southern Norway as well. Got a curl of cloud associated with an area of low pressure. That's dragging in some notably colder air. We're seeing temperatures, for example, yesterday afternoon, 20 Celsius in Serbia. This morning, snow, cold. Amazing to see these back and forth swings in terms of the temperature. And it's been a glorious spell. Let's hope that this breakdown in the weather towards the upcoming weekend or next weekend it is only a temporary breakdown. That is the thing. I just hope that this isn't all just a little bit too much too quick, and then you see a return to the westerlies which lock in place once again. I'm not convinced that that's going to be the case. I think we get a return of the westerlies and then possibly another return of high pressure. That is what I'm hopeful for anyway. Glory to Jesus also on sunny. Been sunny in Devon, but real cool wind. Yes, that wind when you're in exposure, especially if you're close to bodies of water, particularly the North Sea, you're definitely feeling that nip in the air. I believe Richard Shaw also had at least 3 days without getting above double digits, I believe. Is that right, Rich? 6.9 currently, so almost double there, Paul James. We've got 15 Celsius, so quite the contrast between Hampshire and I believe you're near the coast of in Yorkshire. Am I right in saying that, Rich? But you're certainly exposed to that easterly wind coming in from the North Sea, so certainly feeling quite chilly in that breeze. We can hopefully try and get some southerly winds and see those temperatures rise once again. I think even up in the north of Scotland where I'm based, I think we may push 20 Celsius before we start to see those westerlies return late week, so that would be certainly nice to see. So yes, and best wishes to your mum, says Rich. Thank you very much, my friend, for that, for your kind wishes. It's certainly greatly appreciated. Very kind of everybody to do that. So anyway, this is the current temperatures according to the Met Office, and this is off the Braemar, Ballard, Donside and Deeside weather. So we have got these contrasts in temperature. Feeling pleasant and shelter across the west of Scotland. But look at this here, 7.3 at Inverbervie. We've only got 7.7 at Aberdeen Dice Airport with that onshore breeze. And again, even up at Wick, we've got an 8.6 Celsius, 9.9 at Stornoway, Skipping further south here into the southwest of Scotland, we're talking about temperatures 16.5 in and around the Prestwick area. And then as you continue to pan south, again, Scunny is at 9.7, while we've got a 16.5 on the Lancashire coast, as can be seen here. Moving further south here, again, some reasonably chilly numbers, so the temperatures have pegged back quite a bit. Back a couple of days, Otterbourne, 23.7 Celsius, the UK's warmest day of 2025 so far. So yes, certainly a little bit fresher compared to what we've seen. And obviously we've had a report of 15 Celsius according to Poll down in Yorkshire. But temperatures are certainly dropping during the overnight period. If we look at the minimum temperatures according to the Met Office data here, these were the lows this morning. And again, where you had the breeze, where you had the har or fret, temperatures pegged up. But we had a 5.1 below freezing in Altnahar. We had a minus 2.4, even relatively near the coast of Kinloss. Moving further south, a minus 3.8 at Aviemore. And again, like I say, mid-single figures here, but that breeze was really, really quite chilly indeed through the overnight period. So in shelter, we've got the frost, and where those frosty pockets are during the overnight period, we're seeing the temperatures respond very nicely indeed. So, like I say, a little bit short for time, so I'm going to rattle on. This is the current temperature anomalies across the planet for the first 6 days of April, and quite the contrast across North America. For example, we've got a very mild, compared to average, Alaska, northwestern Canada. We've got the below average, firmly below average across central Canada, even into the west. And for the United States, it's in particular, if we look at the North American view, you can see that we've got firmly warmer than average anywhere from Texas up into the northeast, but firmly below average across the Great Basin, for example, here. So that is quite a distinct west versus east contrast across the lower 48 of the United States. We've obviously seen another major outbreak of tornadoes, particularly so Arkansas, if I can remember, and if I've got time, we'll look at that briefly shortly. Frog's Legs Matthew, tune in as well. Good afternoon to yourself. We've also got Chris A tuning in. We've got Sean Avery tuning in as well. Sorry if I'm kind of skipping through everybody this evening. I'm kind of just wanting to try and get as much out as much as possible anyway. I believe my mum is tuning in from the hospital, so it was good obviously to see you a little bit earlier, Mum, and I hope you have a pleasant evening. So this was the temperature anomalies across North America. Let's move on to Asia then, and you can see here, by the way, big time heat starting to build Pakistan into parts of India as well. We're talking about upper 40s, in that kind of ballpark. That is record-breaking warm for early April. Obviously, the heat is building at this time of the year naturally ahead of the monsoon over the next couple of months. But it is pretty early in terms of getting into the high 40s. So we've got western portions of China below average. We've got a split here between below and above average across eastern portions of China. Firmly below average across Vietnam, which is quite interesting. And again, you've got this combination of below average versus warmer than average. India, for example, northwestern portions into Pakistan, and all the stands of Central Asia, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, all those stands are firmly warmer than average at this moment in time. So quickly moving on to our own continent then of Europe. You can see here that we have got a warm start pretty much right the way across the board. The only exceptions being in the western and southwestern portions of both Spain as well as Portugal has been below average, and we've obviously seen more flash flooding, for example, across parts of Iberia thanks to a deep area of low pressure that affected the Canaries. I believe it was 60, 70, even 80 mile per hour wind gusts through the Canaries, or parts of the Canaries, back around Thursday of last week. So pretty windy conditions for this part of the world. We've also got our very own Gavin Partridge tuning in as well. The man is busy. He's just done his own live stream, and now he's tuning in as well to this one as well. So thanks, Gav, for again your support as well, and everybody's support. It is massively appreciated how kind everybody is, for the well wishes from my mum, the support from everybody. It really is fantastic stuff. So this is, like I said, the temperature anomalies across Europe for nearly the first full week of April. Moving across to Africa then, or down to Africa, and you can see here quite a mixed match of below versus above average temperature anomalies. But into the Middle East, we're talking about some brutal heat, both by nighttime, record-breaking warm nights, as well as very hot afternoons. The heat is now building into the Middle East region of the Northern Hemisphere. Moving across in and down into South America, and wow, look at that there for a cold anomaly. So it's been a very chilly open to April. Obviously, this is into the autumn season down in South America, but that is a very notable below average start to the month of April across much of Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, into parts of Peru also. Again, this standout warmer than average has been lingering across the interior of Brazil, with the exceptions of the Amazon basin. Really, it's been firmly warmer than average really for weeks on end now. Moving down or across the Pacific, we'll move over to Australia and see how things are looking here. Pretty chilly start to the month of April actually for folks down in Australia, which is interesting here. A little bit warmer than average across the far west of Western Australia here. Warmer than average along that coastal region of Queensland. But generally speaking, it's been a pretty chilly start to April by Australian standards anyway. Tasmania below average, but they look at New Zealand, firmly warmer than average in both North and South Islands. Glory to Jesus says, oh, wish your mum well, Mark. Thank you very much for that. And I'm sure she also appreciates everybody's kind well wishes as well. So, let's move on to the extremes that have been taking place around the world. Townsville Airport in Queensland. This is from Cameron H. A tweet recently. This was actually back at the end of March. So Townsville, tropical Queensland, has ended the month of March with an insane 1004.6 millimetres of rain. Not only does this destroy the 2011 March record by more than 300 millimetres, so it breaks the record by over 300 millimetres, which was 696.2 millimetres back in 2011. It's the fourth wettest month of all time. For the first time, 2 months this year have recorded more than a metre of rain, data going back to 1941. Interesting tweet there by Cameron H. Moving forward then, you can see that this tweet here also, so for the 2025 year so far, so through the first 3 months of the year, an incredible 2,452.8 millimetres of rain has fallen at Townsville Airport. This already surpasses the 2,399.8 millimetres in 2000 as the wettest year on record. Yesterday was the 27th consecutive rain day of more than 0.2 millimetres or above. This ties the 23rd of December 1990 and the 18th of January 1991 as the longest streak on record. So epic rains. We know how much rain has fallen in large parts of Queensland in recent weeks, but the data really does stand out in terms of the extreme rainfall that they have seen. So fascinating stuff, it has to be said, regarding the rainfall down in parts of Australia. Looking then at our very own Thierry Goose, based in Vancouver, Canada. Always greatly appreciate his tweets. Now, if you're on Twitter and you like weather and weather data, give this guy a follow. The reason why I say that is because he says, given the low audience and the growing lack of interest in my posts with little interaction, I am increasingly considering leaving X. Decision will be made soon. In any case, thank you everyone who has followed me over the past few years. So give Thierry a follow if you like weather, you like global weather stats. We want to give this guy support because I don't necessarily want to lose him on Twitter because I greatly appreciate what he shares with everybody. So big heat, big time heat in Mexico, for example, temperatures as high as 48 Celsius. This is early to see that kind of heat in Mexico. And also the Pakistan, Northwest India, it's at record-breaking levels in terms of heat for this stage in April. You typically see late April into May temperatures into this territory of 45 to 47 degrees Celsius. So brutal heat down in parts of Pakistan and northwestern India. So yes, that was that. Let me see here what else I can show. So again, like I say, exceptional heat as high as 48 Celsius, especially in the San Luis Potosí state. I think that's the right pronunciation. Also, very warm conditions into parts of Scandinavia as well. High temperatures of 22.2 at Film in Sweden. We have 22 in Norway, 20 in Boris, Denmark, and 19.1 Celsius in Finland. Very, very high temperatures for this early in the season. And Thierry says in Denmark, this is the ninth earliest 20 Celsius ever recorded in the country since 1873. Let me see here what else I can show here. Unusually cold conditions then, so we go from extreme heat to extreme cold by April standards, minus 36.8 Celsius in one part of Quebec, Canada, which is a noticeable low for April. New monthly record at the station, but very low period of record, only 2006 to 2025 so far, and there is a lot of missing data, which is unfortunate. Continue to look through here and see what else I can show. It was a very chilly start to the month of April in parts of Honshu, Japan. Subsequently, temperatures dropped significantly in Tokyo with a maximum of only 5.8. Now, we've seen record-breaking warmth in the month of April and especially back during the month of March. But it was a very chilly 1st of April 2025 for the city of Tokyo. Second lowest temperature in the last 91 years for the date, after a 4.3 on the 1st of April 1984. And it's the 7th lowest recorded in the 150 years of observations in that particular location. So yes, certainly lots going on there. Let me just see here real quick. I want to show you a couple of other things. Let's move over to Maximiliano Herrera. Again, equally, it delivers some fantastic climate data from across the planet. So again, interesting tweet here. Historic heat wave in India and Pakistan, 47 at Nawab Shah, with 46 in Sibi. But then even moving into parts of India as well, unprecedented heat for the time of the year. In Rajasthan, 45.6 at Barmer, 45 and another location as well. Let me just see here what else we have got. So moving across Australia then, another scorching night in Queensland with a new April record, highest minimum temperature at Low Isles of 28.1 C. Very mild conditions across parts of the southeastern United States. We've seen some very, very warm temperatures, and then we've also seen a wintry slap in the face as well. So these big fluctuations between very warm and very cool, this is the typical, but even more so than the typical to see these big swings, these big extremes. It feels as if we're getting more and more of these big fluctuations, these wild flips between unusual cold and unusual warm temperatures. But minimum temperatures, look at this here for the 8th. Another record hot night in the historic heat wave in the southeast United States. Minimums of 79 degrees Fahrenheit. That is bonkers. That's like mid-July, mid-August kind of level warm night temperatures. For April, that's crazy stuff, actually. So let's continue to look through here. So, down in the central portions of the Americas as well, we're talking about Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, record high minimum temperatures, so temperatures not getting below 27.2. In Belize, hot, humid nights have persisted all week, with 5 consecutive nights in Belize City staying above 28 Celsius. So very, very sultry overnight conditions in the parts of of Central America. We're also seeing mid-summer level warmth across parts of the Middle East, as already explained. Already another scorching day in the Middle East and Central Asia, with 44.5 in India, 42.9 in the Emirates, and a hot 36.9 in Turkmenistan, 31.5 in Kazakhstan. So some brutal heat already starting to build across many areas of the Northern Hemisphere. So let me just see if there's anything else I can show. Moving forward here, let me just see some comments. That is us approaching 7:30, folks. This is going to be a bit of a quick end to tonight's video. Listen, it's better getting at least a live stream done, albeit short, than having no live stream at all. I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for tuning in to this short stream tonight. Thank you to our moderators as well, to Lindsay, to Paul, James. Have we got anybody else? I don't know if we've got Sing Splint or Lisa tuning in. I don't think so. Massive thank you to all the audience as well. Adam Blunston, Frogs Legs, Matthew, Gav. It's fantastic to see you, my friend. It's also fantastic to see Rich. It's fantastic to see everybody, obviously. But Chris A, we've got who else have we got? Thank you to Lindsay. Hope you're not working too hard in that garden. Hint, hint. No, I know you've had a long day. Put your feet up and relax, Lindsay. So let me just see here if there's anything else. Thank you to Glory to Jesus, Downstairs Dave. Who else? Have I missed anybody out? I don't know. I don't think so. We do have Sing Splint. So thanks for tuning in, Sing Splint, as well. Hope you are well as well. So yes, short and sweet video this evening, live stream. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening and the rest of your weekend. Going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about this potential breakdown of the settled weather towards the end of the week. Also going to be talking a little bit initially about the hurricane season forecast. Colorado State University has just released their initial hurricane season forecast for the 2025 seasons. We'll look at that briefly, and then I'm going to be talking more about the upcoming summer season as well. So stay tuned. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button before you leave today's stream. Leave a comment, and also it would be greatly appreciated if you hit the subscribe button. Massive thank you as well to the donator, Chris Braemar, Ballater, Donside and D-Side Weather. Give him a follow on Facebook and Twitter. Share the love, and listen, enjoy your Sunday evening, and I'll see you back next week with a live stream. But there will be content Monday to Friday this upcoming week, European Outlook, so stay tuned for that. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.